welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing amazing. I am literally like so cold right now. It's October 1st and I am in my jacket and I have fuzzy socks on. So that is how I'm doing. But today I thought I would share my experience in like going to therapy and all that stuff and just like, you know, my journey with that. So let's begin. So growing up with cerebral palsy and other disabilities, I definitely grew up going to therapy, but for me, therapy was a little different. For me, it was OT, PT, speech therapy. In terms of counseling, I never had that, and I honestly never really thought about it. But looking back at it now, I know it would have been helpful, especially since living with disabilities is hard and it can be challenging. You can feel alone, and you can feel like no one understands you, and I feel like for those times, it would have been so helpful for me. But I would say it took a couple college to realize I probably should try therapy after something, you know, kind of awful happened to me. And even though, like, it was an awful thing that I went through, it made me realize, like, I should try therapy. And I'm so glad I did realize that, because that was a big step. You know, realizing that, you know, therapy would be good for me was such a good, like, important step that needed to happen, and I'm just so proud of myself that I realized that. Now, in terms of getting a therapist, in my experience, that took a long time. Like, I don't know exactly why, but I felt like I waited forever. But during the time I did wait, I tried to go to my counseling services at my college, but long story short, it was an awful experience. Like, I don't want to get into it, but we did not click. It was just like, it was a waste of my time, and honestly, I feel like it made it worse. So I did not go back again. From that experience, I will say, it kind of like made me rethink, and it kind of like gave me a layer feel of like, what if every, you know, therapist I have like is bad and we do not get along and it's just not a good fit. Like, I honestly did have that feel after that experience, but what I realized is, you know, trying counseling and trying therapy, like, you're gonna have, you know, therapists that you do not work well together, but that is normal. And that is okay, because there are gonna be plenty of therapists that will be a good fit for you. And that's what I realized, you know, after I finally got my therapist that I saw, you know, have today, is, wow, like, you know, different, like, you just have to find one that works for you, and not everyone is gonna work for you. And I'm so glad, like, I didn't give up, because after that experience I have at my college, I was frustrated, and I just like was a little like unsure, since, you know, I never really tried therapy before, so I, you know, didn't really know much about it. But now I know. Now I'm glad I waited until I eventually got a therapist, because it worked well for me, and I finally got one around March of 2020. So I started going to therapy through Zoom, and honestly, that was like, it's been so beneficial for me to do it through Zoom, because I can't drive, so it just gives me so many more possibilities to have therapy through Zoom. So that is one positive. But yeah, I've been going to therapy. I probably say I go like every couple of weeks. Like, I would say like average like 2 times a month, and it's just been wonderful. And I can just say, like, I have come so far since the first time I had my therapy session back in March of 2020 to now. Like, I was just going through so much during that time, and I just have come so far. Another thing I want to talk about is the stigma around therapy, because I still feel like there is still some stigma around it, and I honestly don't know why, because therapy is so helpful, and I truly do think like everyone should try therapy at least once in their life. And I, like, even if you're not going through something, I still feel like it would be so good to just have someone to talk to, someone to listen. And it's just so important to focus on your mental health, because I know a lot of times we think about physical health, and while that is so important, mental health is just as important. And I feel like, you know, going to therapy has definitely helped me so much in terms of my mental health, and I'm just so glad, you know, I started going to therapy, and it just has been such a positive thing in my life. The last thing I think I want to talk about in this video is how my disabilities has impacted my mental health. It definitely has, but I feel like I didn't really think about it until I started going to therapy, and I realized, like, wow, like, the challenges I have and the things I've been through, you know, a lot of it has to do with, like, my disabilities, and, you know, that impacts the way I think and just, like, my mental health. And I'm just like, wow, like, I didn't really think about it before. And honestly, like, for example, finding out I couldn't drive back in high school was hard for me, and I was sad, and that impacted my mental health. And just, like, the things I've been through, the challenges I've faced because living with cerebral palsy and dealing with people who do not understand me, and honestly, like, the way people treat me sometimes. Like, I did a video not that long ago where I talk about something you should not do to people who are disabled, and that thing is, you know, talking to them like they're so much younger than their age, like, talking to them like they don't understand you. And I feel like I have dealt with that throughout my life, and that really impacted my mental health. And I know I was treated like that because of my disability, and I know people thought, like, I wasn't smart because of my disability, and having someone talking to me like that definitely impacts the way I feel, and it impacts my mental health. And just being treated in general, you know, different because of my disability, like, impacts my mental health. And I feel like, wow, like, if I didn't have a disability, like, you would be treating me so much better. So, like, things like that, and honestly, just things are challenging for me with one hand. Like, not being able to do things, you know, like, sometimes I just don't feel good not being able to do something, like, not being able to drive, or, you know, having something like putting up my hair, like, how hard it is for me to put up my hair in a ponytail, things like that. Like, the things that will come up, and yeah, it will put me in a bad mood and just, like, impact my mental health. But I feel like the reason why I don't really think about it that often is because I do a very good job at kind of putting that to the side and just using my sense of humor, being who I am, like, you know, laughing and just, like, being positive. Like, I try my best to be all that and just think of the positive throughout everything, and I think that really helped me in terms of my mental health, and just not letting things around me, you know, because of my disabilities, whether that be, like, my challenges or just people treating me differently because I'm disabled, like, whatever it may be, I do a very good job at not letting that get to me by just being who I am. I feel like throughout my life, I definitely have used my sense of humor throughout everything, throughout all my challenges, everything I've been through in my life. I use my sense of humor throughout it all, and if I didn't have my sense of humor, like, I honestly don't know where I would be, because I guess, like, my sense of humor got me through so much, and just being funny and, like, making jokes and just laughing. So that really helped me. But that sure doesn't take away from the times where I sure am impacted by my mental health, and I still have hard days and still have struggles, and there's still times where I cry and I just, you know, realize, wow, like, I'm just like, this is so hard, you know? But I definitely think sum it up, therapy has definitely helped, and having someone to talk to is just wonderful. And yeah, I feel like everyone should try to go to therapy at least once. Try it. Like, you never know until you try. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, follow me on all my social medias. They'll be linked below. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Bye.